And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Heyo, Monday morning, July 29th. Good to be back. Guess who's back? Back again. Tell a friend. What's happening, kids? Hopefully your Monday's off to a fantastic start. We're full swing here at Thick Boys Studios. Brian Callen's back from his white privilege vacation on the yachts, doing his thing. So he's back. Friend could be back in full flow this week. All scheduled broadcast is back in action. So your boy's shooting a ton of podcasts this week, as usual. The Schaub Show, we don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm fresh off the plane from Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to Fort Worth. Brought the kiddos out there. Stayed in it's up there, Hotel Emma. My two favorite hotels are in Texas. Hotel Emma in San Antonio, one of a kind. And then the Drover, I think it's the Drover. Yeah, the Drover in Fort Worth, which is at the Stockyard. It's like a compound. It's like the hotel's there. It's all country. Trump 2024. And then it's like all the restaurants and then the Stockyard. It's pretty dope. Kids had a good old time watching horses. Basti he just has cowboy in him. He put on that cowboy hat. I went, holy smokes, you were born to be a cowboy. He looked identical to a legit cowboy. He loved it. Just dialed in, absolutely dialed in. When we went to the Stockyard, went to the PBR, saw them big old bulls getting rode like a mother trucker. And it's actually a myth because Boston and T were like, Dad, why do the bulls buck like that? I went, because they tie a rope to their wieners, to their nuts. That's actually not true. Did you know that?
I never even heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, maybe it's the urban legend around the Schaub household as a kid, but we always thought the reason the horses and the bulls are bucking so much because they have that rope around their nut sacks.
Makes sense.
Not true. It makes sense, right?
I'd be bucking.
I'd be bucking like crazy, dude. But no, they actually do it. It's almost like a harness that's around like their stomach, and it's uncomfortable for them. And then also they just like to buck. It's just they don't want them little dudes on their back. So that's why they do it, which was news to me. And I actually got fact checked by a cowboy because we're at the PBR show, and the kids asked, and it's loud in there, so I was like yelling the answer. And
he's got ropes around his nuts.
I was like, this rope around his wiener. And then some guy was like, hey, young man, that's actually not true. And then he broke it all down. I was like, thank you, cowboy. I went like this, and then the kids got the facts instead of fake news from their dad. So that's good to know. Reason I went out there, A, for that hotel, B, because I love Texas, C, to pick up my TRX from Bailey's Hyper Performance. My boy Chris Bailey rocking the merch today. He's the wizard, the Mopar wizard. That truck is so violent. I like to be scared, and that thing will do it. So it's shipping its way back to LA now, and I cannot wait. That thing is so filthy.
This one?
Yeah, that one, Chin. That absolute monster. It is that thing's a problem. So that's Chris there. That's his world record setting. He's the fastest Dodge Demon in the world. He set the record. I think it was like 7.7 the quarter mile. That whole world is crazy. Because they set the record, right? And then every big like tuning shop for the next year works on getting more horsepower, like finding 300 or 400 more horsepower, which is damn near impossible to do, but that's what they do to compete. Yeah, that's the bull. I'll tell you what's gangster about PBR. Some guys wear the helmets, like the modern helmets, to protect from getting stomped out by the bull. And then there's a Brazilian cat and an American dude who just wore the cowboy hat. Just was like, nah, man, I'm old school. And they just wear the cowboy hat. And then here's my thing. Then they give them the same score. Shouldn't the dude not wearing all the safety gear get a little bit more respect? If they both last 8 seconds, you got on all the safety gear. Homeboy has just some chew-in and a cowboy hat. He should get a higher score. Playing a different game.
Yeah, it should almost be like different categories.
Yeah.
Or heats or something.
Yeah. It's exactly it. One should be the enhanced games, and he's in all that gear, and the others bull riding, right? That's what they should do.
But even with headgear and when you're sparring, I personally I would never want headgear on, right? Because I can't see as well.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
I don't know how his helmet looks.
With bull. With bull. I don't know. But you get stomped out. One dude I had to take a hard piss. I drank so much Diet Coke out there. So I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, Tiger was like, some dude died. I'm like, no. And they're like traumatized. Then I looked it up, and he didn't die. He got stomped out, though. Boy, did he get stomped out. Yeah, those are the helmets. They look like
crazy,
girl lacrosse helmets.
Yeah, you can't see
or like
that
hockey
well.
helmets. Like that guy can't look any more or less like a cowboy. Go to that guy.
This guy?
Yeah. What are we doing, dude?
You can't see. That's what sucks about the helmets.
I don't know how much you need to see when you're riding the bulls, but
I mean,
I can see why Cerrone like went to PBR and was like, I bet I could do that. Because you'll see, I'm not saying I can do it, I'm way too big, but you'll see some guys that last like half a second. There's like 4 guys in a row just like fell off. And I was like, I feel like I feel like I could maybe give that thing a go. So I can see why Cowboy was like, I bet I could last longer than that. I can see how he got into it. I don't think he's done some, but he hasn't rode Dana's bull.
oh yeah.
And the money in bull riding, this is why Dana's smart, because Dana owns the bull. The money's not riding the bull. The money's in owning the bull, and then you basically rent that bull out, and they pay you. So you get a cut of everybody who's riding that bull.
It's kind of like NASCAR, right? Like if the owners of the car and all that stuff make bank.
They make the majority of the money. Yeah. Yeah, that's where the move's at, owning the bull. Seems like a lot of work. And then if that bull's gangster, then you just breed that bull and you make money off. The money's in the bull, not in the human. Very rare. Very rare. Where the animal's worth more than the human. Very rare. But I loved it, man. Shout out to Texas. Shout out to my boy Chris Bailey. Best of the best, man. Nothing better. We had some fights, though. We had some fights, and oh, man, there is nothing better when you know you got a crispy-ass UFC pay-per-view, especially when it's in England, because if you didn't start watching at 3 p.m. Pacific, you ain't shit. Because you know, if this card's in England and it's a pay-per-view, they're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring it. And so you got to start from number 1. Bannon, Shauna Bannon kicked it off pretty tasty. You're like, all right, the early prelims, like, oh, it's gonna be a good card. This is like one of those, English cards that's gonna be fire from top to bottom. Here we go. So early prelims, fire. It started with that split decision with Bannon. Good fight though. The Mick Parkin, who definitely someone to keep an eye on. Definitely keep an eye on that kid. He's a bit of a savage out of Aspinall's camp. He knocks homeboy out. Guy definitely should be a light heavyweight, but anyway, knocks him out. Then Sam Patterson with the arm triangle choke, and then you get another submission, and then you get a decision. You're like, all right, whatever. And then the fight gods went, slow your roll, because we're going to give you 7 decisions in a row. And it put a complete halt to having fun. All good. Muhammad and Cape. That one was interesting because, right, all the beef, all the shit talk before the fight, they couldn't be in the same room without fighting. And Muhammad and Cape, a lot of it comes from, right, they're talking all the shit. Then Muhammad somehow lured him in and was like, hey, let's take a selfie together for basically like for Muslims, saying, we're united. And then he sucker punched him. Kind of a punk move, right? But they couldn't be in the same room. They're like 2 Siamese fish fighting, and I'm like, this fight's about to be lit. I wish the UFC, featured this more, and you got an awful fight. Yeah. And Dana was like, we're good. And Muhammad's like, no, I know, but I'm going to, undefeated prospect. And he goes, nah, we're not re-signing you. Let him go. There's more to that story. So the narrative right now, you ain't going to hear from me. But the narrative right now is, Dana cut him because it's fighting style and it's boring. There's a lot more to the story. A lot more to the story there. And then Meatball Molly, right? Whenever Paddy Pimblett fights, Molly usually fights on the same card. you look at her record, she won like 4 out of her last 6. And this is just me. I've never seen her win a fight. Except for that one when she like came out the floodgates. It's in England and everybody went all crazy. And we're like, oh, meatball. And she signs with Barstool. Since then, I've never seen her win a fight.
The spinning back elbow with Hannah Goldie. Was that it?
That one was fun. I know. She had the 2 spinning elbows, right? And you're like, oh, this is filthy. For whatever reason, my brain just doesn't download her wins. Because when she lost this one, it was bad. She was a big favorite. This fight wasn't that close. She had some success, but she got kind of pieced up, right? The body shots really lit her up. For whatever reason, my brain will not download her winning fights. When she lost this one, I'm like, that's like 8 in a row. And I look up her record, I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. She wins a lot more than she loses, but she's won, what is that?
From
out of 7 fights, she's won the last 4. She's lost 5. Yeah, it's tough. 4 and 5 out of her last 9. It's tough. She looked like a straight savage. Her and Paddy came proper. Yeah, but for whatever reason, Molly Meatball, my brain cannot download it. I'm a fan. I don't know what's going on there. Drake gave her and Paddy the Rolexes. Mm-hmm. Cursed. Not good. Not good. And then the main card, I didn't have an issue with the main card. I thought it was fun. Now, a lot of the narrative, too, will be, oh, the English fighters, Dana did, it was on American time. I think the main event, they rolled out at like 3 a.m. Well, I'm going to stop all that right now because, remember, these guys are professionals. Is it ideal? No, it's not ideal. It's not perfect conditions for the fighters that are from that area. But they're professionals. They that doesn't work for me. I think more of it is when it affects the crowd, the production. You saw so many ears in the production, which is kind of a first, really, at this level. It's a first. Also, they're outsourcing that, right? So when they're over in England, it's not the same team here in the States, so they're outsourcing that. But also, when people are probably staying up 24 hours, you can have some mistakes. So that's more of a factor. Not so much for the fighters. So I think for the crowd, usually that English crowd is second to none. They're on fire. But when they've been drinking all day, it's hot, it's 3 a.m., it's 2 a.m., it's tough, man. So the energy, I'm sure, from the crowd wasn't ideal, especially as a fighter when you're walking out. Now, Paddy Pimblett, which we'll get to him, but he gave him a freaking a shot of adrenaline coming out. Like, he set that place on fire. Massive star. Arnold Allen looked fantastic. He was my dark horse in the featherweight division. Still is. I know he's coming off 2 losses. This was a huge win. Was never in any trouble. 29-28. All right, that's fine. Dominated that fight. Looked, so damn good. So damn good. RoboCop absolutely mollywopped Christian Leroy Duncan. It was like they're in 2 different weight classes. Christian Leroy, I think after that, might want to go to welterweight if he can, but those are the monsters of the middleweight division. And RoboCop, you got to give him, a ranked guy now. That fight wasn't close, man. And Christian Leroy, savage striker, so goddamn good, and just wasn't strong enough. Just the size was a factor. Gregory, his jiu-jitsu, he's world class. Doesn't really need to use it. He just beat his ass. It just looked like 2 different weight classes. Just beat his ass. All right, kids, let's take a little break from all this UFC 304 chit-chat because the sweet science is back this freaking weekend. That's right. You got a big old main event in boxing coming up with the man, the pound-for-pound king. Terrence Crawford is fighting this Saturday. Get in on all the action right now. DraftKings Sportsbook. Super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a fighter to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your fighter, and place your first bet. It's that simple. Speaking of huge, if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get 150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code SCHAUB. That's code SCHAUB, SCHAUB show. For new customers, get 150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. See terms and responsible gaming resources at dkng.co/MMA.
And then, so, you know, your 7 decisions, like, come on, man. And then Paddy Pimblett and King Green, a.k.a. Bobby Green, but King Green comes out. This was one of the fights I was waiting for. Those next 3, I'm like, here, this is what I've been waiting for. England's waiting for this. Here we go. And Paddy comes out. He looks better than ever physically. Tough fight for him. Tough fight. And I like what the UFC's done with him because they've learned from the past with the likes of Darren Till, where they push a guy too fast, where his star factor outshines his talent. So you got to let those guys, you got to let them simmer. You got to let them go through the rankings. You got to let them go through the proper steps before you just shove them into the top 15, top 10, top 5, right? And they've done it right with Paddy. He looks so damn good. And talk about a defining moment. This is the last fight on Paddy's contract. He's getting a ton of hate. People are like, oh, he's not living up to expectations. You know, he lost to Gordon, right? He got a lot of hate from that, which he can't control. He fucked up, getting on the mic saying that was, you know, that wasn't even close. That's where he made the mistake. But so he gets a lot of hate for that, right? People hate Paddy. He's getting all this hate. And then he just comes in and absolutely outclasses King Green. I mean, absolutely. Put the dude to sleep, man. And why King Green decided to shoot in off that kick, I don't know. Learned the hard way. Woke up and learned the hard way, you know. And King Green, he's good, dude. He's a damn good fighter. Paddy's he's making the right progression. He's making the right steps. And I tweeted out, if Paddy, people are so upset. If Paddy, right, people can't take their hate for Paddy or guys like Ian Gary, these young prospects. They can't take their hate and just step out of the box and realize how talented these guys are. So what I said was Paddy Pimblett, as far as star quality, if he keeps winning, has to keep winning. If he keeps winning, has the most potential to get close. Nobody's ever going to get outbeat Conor McGregor as far as star power, but he has the star qualities, and he has the personality to get to be the next Conor McGregor. He has the most potential out of all the guys kind of that we're looking right now. Everyone's like, oh, what about Sean O'Malley? He's already there. His ceiling's there. Unless he does some of these super fights, you know, as far as stepping out and fighting like a Floyd Mayweather fight like Conor did, maybe, but his ceiling, he's there. He's already champ. You know, he's kind of there. Also, I think as far as America goes, we're at our ceiling. As far as the growth in America, as far as stars in America, we're kind of there. I don't think you're going to get another Brock Lesnar, Conor McGregor type of dude in America. I think we have so many stars in other sports. I think the market's oversaturated. They put on so many fights. I think Americans have a short attention span. I don't think we'll get there. I think the ceiling's there, and Sugar, if he keeps winning and dominating, doing these, you know, super fights, he can get bigger, but I think he's there. And I think as far as Europe goes, and other countries, and that's what the UFC's focused on for a reason, I think the growth is over there. And so for Paddy, I think his ceiling's higher than other guys. That's why I think his potential be bigger than these other young stars that people mention. He's there, and dude, I've interviewed everybody. There's a reason why I stopped doing food truck. I've interviewed everybody. Got tired of it. It was fun. It was great. We've interviewed everybody. You name it, they've been on the show, or I've talked to them in person. I've seen everybody. We've interviewed Conor. I've been around Conor, right? Was the Showtime Conor expert, right? Been around Conor. So special. Will never be another Conor. The only person who can match that magic energy that I've ever come across in person is Paddy Pimblett. You hear about it. We drove down to San Diego. You were there, Casey. You weren't there? FCT. But we drove down to San Diego to do a food truck with him at the Laugh Factory in San Diego. He was 200 plus pounds. So, Fatty the Patty, right? That's what they call him when he gets big like that. And there's no hate there. He just gets big. I think he's kind of toned that down a little bit and he's taking it more serious. He has to now that he's going to be ranked. But you hear all these things about the kid, right? Oh, he's special. He was bigger, than the UFC. Before he came, he's making more money. He can't walk the streets of Liverpool, the fifth Beatle, right? And you hear all this stuff and you have these expectations. Then you meet the kid and you're like, holy shit. The kid whatever it is, you're born with it. Conor was born with it. Paddy was born with it. Some guys, they're just not, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's no marketing class. There's nothing Dana can do. There's nothing UFC marketing machine can do. You either got it or you don't. And there's only 2 guys on the UFC roster that have it, and they just have it. It's Paddy Pimblett and Conor McGregor. There might be other young guys out there that are coming up through the ranks that I haven't met or interviewed, but as far as in my experience, the guys that check all the boxes, Paddy's that guy. You mean like, holy shit, this kid's special, man. The kid has some sort of magic that if you could bottle up and sell, you'd be a billionaire. He just has it. You can say what you want, not like the kid, cool. He has it. He has it. He just gets it. He's the only, man, even in entertainment too, comics, actors, whoever it is, all the podcast guests we've had, he's the only guy, when you put the camera on him, he'll go, which one's my camera? And instead of talking to me, he's cutting promos to his camera. All natural. Where's my camera? Boom. He just gets it. Just gets it. Special, special dude. Special, special dude. Now, is his skill set there as a Conor? Because I think if you look at their experience in the UFC, Paddy, what is this? His 4th, 5th fight? This last on his contract, price 6. What is this?
Since here.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6. Yeah. She has a 6-fight deal. That's right. So Conor in his 6th fight was fighting Chad Mendes. But Conor was more advanced is striking, right? But Paddy, it's just, we put these expectations on these young fighters. And, and Conor's a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent. And Paddy has a different set of skills, right? Grappling's his thing, and the striking's getting better. But, grappling, he's special at. But he needs to put it all together, and we'll see how he does when he gets in the top 10, top 5. But, Conor, it's also a different time when he came up. Division is a lot deeper now. There's not as many stars, but the UFC's doing it right with Paddy is the point. They're doing it right. And I'm telling you, man, that kid keeps winning. He's going to be the face of the UFC. He just has it. He just has it. I know you guys might not like it. Oh, he's this and he's that. I get all that. I get all that. Ian Gary, as far as talent-wise, my God, that kid fucking talented. But when it comes to the it factor, he doesn't have it in fucking abundance like Paddy Pimblett. He's there. He'll be a huge star, especially if he keeps winning. And we'll get to it, especially the welterweight division now. Ian Gary will definitely have a title shot before Paddy Pimblett, and he might be a bigger star because he becomes champion sooner. But as far as the it factor, there's only 2 guys I know that have it. Paddy's one of them. Special, special breed, man. And talk about a defining moment. I was thinking about this driving in today. The prospects, these kids coming up in the UFC now are dealing with a different animal. So you hear Paddy Pimblett, right? The first thing he did when he got on the mic was talk shit to the haters, right? Because there's all these doubts and there's all this hate. Ian Gary addresses it. Tom Aspinall said, when I went to camp, I'm not even on social media. I do interviews. It sucks to read the opinion of whatever strangers that I don't know. They're just dealing with a different factor that guys like GSP, BJ Penn, Lyoto Machida, Brock Lesnar, Shane Carwin, these guys didn't have to deal with it. Even Izzy, for a certain extent, when he's coming up, didn't have to deal with it at this level. Guys like Paddy Pimblett, Ian Gary, Aspinall, they're just dealing with a different type of pressure. And it's going to affect a lot of guys. It's going to affect a lot of guys, and the haters shoot some of them down. But the ones that can deal with it and get through it and not give it the attention that it doesn't deserve, man, when they finally reach that destination, whatever it is, champion, contender, the ones that get there are going to be so goddamn mentally strong, it's not even funny, dude. It's not even funny. They're just dealing with a different X factor that in my day we didn't have to deal with. Anderson Silva didn't have to deal with. GSP didn't have to deal with. We just didn't. Jon Jones coming up didn't have to deal with. These kids are dealing with a different X factor. And again, some are going to be affected by it, man. Some, it's going to fuck with them, change their fighting style, change the demeanor, change the way they train. That's going to happen. But the ones that don't, give it the attention that it doesn't deserve, boy, they're going to be battle tested, battle proof, stronger mentally. So shout out to those guys. But Paddy Pimblett, man, he's talk about a statement. All the pressure's on him. All the pressure. And he got double bonus for a reason. $200,000 in bonuses. $200,000. And he put that place on fucking fire, man. And boy, did we need it. Shout out to Paddy Pimblett. What's next for him? It's going to get tough, man. It's going to get tough, but it's time. It's time. 6 fights in the UFC, it's time to go. And the UFC realizes that. King Green, this was the one, right? This was the one. Oh, finally. Not a great matchup for Paddy. Here we go. He starched that dude. He didn't get touched, bro. He didn't get fucking touched. What else you got? Well, it's going to get tough because now you're in top 15. Because you look at the rankings, go up, Chin, right? So you look at the rankings, and they had right. King Green, up, Chin, right?
No, it's lightweight, right?
Yeah, so the Islam's on the left there.
Yeah.
So he called out, so King Green was 15. I think you put Paddy at 15. You put him higher, you can put a lot of pressure on him. The match can get weird. He called out Moicano. The problem with calling out Moicano is he has a fight with BSD in Paris, right? So that doesn't make a ton of sense. And what if he loses? Still doesn't make sense. Even if he loses, he'd still be ranked higher than King. The one I like for him, that I think would be a good test, would be RDA. That's a good next step.
Big name, especially
old school vet, former champ. He kind of passed that test against Tony Ferguson, right? His last fight was Tony Ferguson. Now it's King Green, another vet. You give him RDA, build him up. That's another vet. Then he gets, again, you don't put him in the top 10. You go 15. Let's go 14. RDA. Slow it down. It's a marathon, not a race. Slow it down. Work on the skill set. Because what you don't want to have happen is they give him Moicano. Let's say Moicano starches BSD. Could happen. Say starches him. And then Moicano gets ranked 8. And then they line up Paddy and Moicano, and he's fighting number 8 guy. Well, now Paddy's number 8. He beat Bobby Green and beat Moicano, right? You beat the number 15 guy, and then for whatever reason, let's say Moicano wins, jumps up to 8. Now you're dealing with the Dariushas of the world, the Chandlers, the Gamrots, Poiriers, Justin Gaethjes. Dude, slow it down. UFC knows it. They're treating him right. Dan Hooker would be a fun one. That's a great matchup for him. I'm not saying these are easy fights. I'm saying that it's the next progression for him. We don't want to toss him in there to the Dariushas, the Fizieves of the world yet. He's not there yet. He might be. We don't know. But let's not find out the hard way and ruin his star.
I feel like him versus Hooker would be an awesome fight.
Him versus Hooker is fire.
100%, dude.
Hooker's fighting in August, though. But that makes sense. Yeah, because he fought in July. Hooker fights in August. Win, lose, or draw, you give him Hooker. Hooker's 11. He loses that one. Say Hooker's 13, 14. Cool. RDA, Hooker's great. Jalen Turner would be good. Jalen Turner's a young guy, so I'd like to keep them separate for now. Let them both go on their win streaks and then have them fight. But yeah, the 15 through 11 right now, let's stay in that range. 11 to 14, let's stay in that range. Let's not too much. Let's not do too much. Problem is, if you're getting paid, and I'm sure his contract's tasty. I'm sure it's tasty. The UFC, if they're paying you like a top 5 guy, they're gonna make you fight top 5. That's the dilemma. You want that money, and if they pay you like a big time prospect, you got to fight big time guys. You're in big time fights. They're gonna force your hand, so you're not gonna have too much say there. So it's kind of, you're making a deal with the devil. So you better be. My point is, you better be ready to go. But slow simmer. It's a marathon, not a sprint, young man. He knows this. His team's smart, man. Smart team. Smart team. And people are like, oh, I don't think you'll ever be champ. How do you know? How do you know? Same people saying, oh, Belal will never be champ. Oh, really? Interesting. Champ. Strickland will never be champ. Interesting. Champ. You know? MMA's crazy, dude. Crazy. Paddy could submit anybody in the top 15. Anybody. They make a mistake, he has the skill set to submit them. Including Charles Oliveira. People would lose their mind, he submits him. Lose their mind. Could happen. Probability not high. I'm just saying it's MMA. Shit happens, dude, that you never expect. If I told you last year at this time, Bilal's going to be world champ, like, get the fuck out of here.
I didn't think he had much of a chance at all, to be honest, before. And then he just dominated.
10-fight win streak, dude.
Crazy.
We'll get to it. 10-fight win streak, though. Doing something, you know how hard it is to win 10 fucking fights in a row at the UFC at 170? I don't give a fuck how you're winning. 10 in a row? You know how fucking insane that is? He had to become undeniable to get a title shot. They did everything in their power. UFC 300, they didn't even look his way. They offered Leon like 3 different matchups before Belal. That's why Dan was so pissed at the press conference. We'll never give bonuses out again. You're like, oh man, come on, dude. That was a good card. Main card. Good card. The prelims, tough. The early prelims were good. The middle prelims on ESPN 2 sucked. Whatever. Shit happens. But the main card overall, great card. Arnold Allen, that's a fun fight. I loved it. RoboCop, that was a straight up ass whooping. Whatever. Sometimes you need that. And then Paddy set the place on fire. And then Tom Aspinall, the biggest star on the card, him or Paddy, right? Comes out and gets it done in 1 minute. And y'all want to be upset when last week I said this is for the real heavyweight champion of the world. Now, the narrative, the marketing from the UFC, which do your thing, the marketing in the UFC is Jon Jones the best heavyweight in the world, and the better fight to make is Jon Jones versus Stipe. Let's just go over that. So Jon has 1 win in the heavyweight division. Before I go on this rant about Jon Aspinall, I'm not saying Jon isn't the GOAT. I'm not saying what Jon's done previously isn't unmatched, unparalleled. It's insane. He is my GOAT. Jon Jones is, I'm going to make this very clear. Jon Jones is my GOAT. Overall, he's my GOAT. He's the best light heavyweight to ever do it. He's the best fighter I've ever seen. But as of Monday, July 29th, 2024, in the heavyweight division, if you have anyone not named Tom Aspinall as your number 1 heavyweight walking this planet, you don't know shit. All right? You ain't shit. If you don't think Tom Aspinall, after what he's done in his last few fights, the shortest ring time, cage time we've ever fucking seen, and the way he's taking these guys out, if you don't respect that and don't think that he is the most talented heavyweight walking this earth right now, stupid. You got your blinders on. Yeah, but Jon, bro, Jon's fought once in how fucking long? But he's injured. I don't give a fuck. But look what he did to Cyril Gane. Go back and watch that fight. Go back and watch that fight and tell me Tom Aspinall wouldn't beat the fuck out of both those guys. Tell me that with a straight face. Take all your bias out of it. You watch Jon Jones' last fight against Cyril Gane, which was the perfect the easiest matchup in the world for him at heavyweight. And you watch what Tom Aspinall's done to Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blades, which are not great matchups for him, mind you. He starched both of them. Both of them. Now turn the tables. Do you think Jon Jones beats Curtis Blades in a minute? He's the best ever. He would do it. Really? How would he do it? Love to hear it. How's he going to beat Curtis Blades in a minute? Go ahead. What do you got? He's going to knock him out? No. Jon's not a knockout artist. He's not a power shot guy. He's going to take Curtis Blades down, national champion JUCO wrestler. He's going to take him down in a minute in what? Ground and pound? Nah, that's not his thing. So he's going to take him down and submit him in a minute? Might have an argument there. Be a tough takedown, right? He ain't knocking him out in a fucking minute. Sergey Pavlovich, you think he beats him faster than Tom Aspinall? Love to hear it. How's he do it? How's he do it? Yeah, but Jon against Cyril Gahn. Yep, you have one example. I have many at Tom Aspinall. And at his weight class. You bring up old shit. Talking about practice. You bring up light heavyweight shit from how many years ago? And then UFC's going to try and sell me that Jon Jones, Stipe hasn't, I love Stipe. Love him. Very clear. Love Stipe. I don't want this taken from, but if we're talking about who's the baddest man on the planet, his name's Tom Aspinall. But you're going to tell me a Jon Jones who's not active, who's had one fight at heavyweight, versus a Stipe, might be the greatest heavyweight we've seen, has it? But remember, Stipe hasn't fought in 4 years. And when we did see him fight 4 years ago, he got knocked out. Those two are the best? And then we got this English lad who's 6'5", 260 pounds, not fat, fighting the contenders of the division, active heavyweight contenders, and fucking starching them. Starching them. Look at his run, dude. Look at his goddamn run. The only fight to make it out of the first round is Andrei Arlovsky. Tough character. Been there. Tough character. Tough to get out of there. He submitted him. Arlovsky doesn't get submitted. He submitted him. And he starches the rest of them. Volkov's pretty good, right? What's he on? 5-fight win streak? Yeah. He submitted him. Then he blew his knee out. But he's beating these young contenders. These guys are top of the heavyweight division. It's not even close. He wants to go to the later rounds, and he can't get there. And y'all want to argue Jon Jones is the best. The real number one is between Jon and Stipe. That's insane. That's insane. That's not true. UFC market that way, though. They have to. And then Dana goes, yeah, Tom's earned it. He's the backup for Stipe Jon. Come on, dude. Come on. Has to be a money play, right? You want to squeeze that Stipe and Jones juice out one more time. I also think Jones, and he's earned it too, and that people don't want to hear this. It's kind of like what Canelo's doing. When these guys get older, like, I'm not fighting that fucking monster. No, man. I'm older, man. Chill. Give me Steve. I'll listen. I'll fight heavyweight. Give me Cyril Gahn. He has white belt level grappling. I'll take him down, submit him. I won't get touched. I'll put on all this weight, right? I'll take him down, submit him. And then give me Stipe, and I'm out of here, dude. I'm not fighting this fucking British monster. What's wrong with you? And ruin my legacy? I get it. No one wants to talk about it. And that's what's going on. No one wants to fight Aspinall. And here's the thing. Aspinall's such a good person. And he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. He's like, Jon, I respect you. I think you're one of the greatest. I just think I'm better, man. Would love to do it. That ain't going to get him out of the fucking bed. That ain't going to do it, man. Yeah. But it's just not his thing. It's not. So UFC goes, okay. If you're not going to force our hand, we're going to make more money over here. Because the casuals know Stipe and Jon better. The older casuals, the young kids are like, who the fuck is Steeper? They don't know who he is. A lot of these young kids don't know who Jon Jones is. They found out when he was at heavyweight. That's what you're dealing with. There's no argument. It's fucking stupid to argue. There's no argument Tom Aspinall isn't the best heavyweight on the planet. It's not even close. We'll pretend, though. The package it. The package it. John, Stipe, Madison Square Garden. Okay. And also, those guys older, you think they both make it there? You think they're both going to get through camp flawlessly? And then Tom Aspinall, and here's the shame. Remember, you make life-changing money when not only you can't just be the champ, you got to be a defending champion. So when you win the belt the first time, you don't get pay-per-view points in general. There's some guys that have before, I get it, and you guys argue this. In general, the way the contracts work, you don't start making life-changing money till you defend that belt. So this is my issue with what they're doing with Tom Aspinall. He's the interim champ, but he won't make fuck you money until he becomes a real champ and defends it. That's a problem. Because he's beating the best guys in the world, but he's not getting paid like it. Oh, but he made $400,000. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. There's definitely some defensive issues I had with Tom, even though that fight only lasted a minute. I didn't like how he was leaving with his head. I was like, eesh, that heavyweight, bud. He was a little overzealous, He was leading first with his chin. I didn't like that. But again, with Jon's not a knockout artist. He can get away with that with Jon. Some of these other guys, a guy like Francis, which we'll never see, and ain't this a bitch? Ain't this the bitch for the hardcores? You're never going to see Jon Jones versus Francis. That ain't happening. Sorry, guys. You never see Jon Jones versus Francis, and most likely, if I have to bet on it, you're not going to see Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. You're never seeing either of those fights. Let that sink in. That's probably not going to happen, kids. The odds are you'll see Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira before you see Jon Jones, Tom. You see a guy that used to be a middleweight. Now he's light heavyweight. Hasn't been there long. You'll see his first fight at heavyweight against the interim champ, Tom Aspinall. Chances are Aspinall beats him, and he's still the interim heavyweight champion. I don't understand it. Who the fuck am I? UFC knows what they're doing. It just doesn't make sense. You have a star in every factor in Tom Aspinall. Then you have these two dinosaurs holding up the division. And yet you're telling the masses that this is the champ. And he's fought one guy that was the perfect matchup. Meanwhile, this savage young kid in his prime is your interim heavyweight champion. It makes no fucking sense. Let's take another little break here, kids, because this episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by Shopify. Boy, did I learn a ton about Shopify. Because anything you order on drivefastallgas.com is powered by Shopify. You want to win a truck? Buy some merch. When you buy that merch, it's on Shopify. That's right. DriveFastAllGas.com is all powered through Shopify. Shopify, why do we use them? Well, Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. So whether you're auctioning off, doing a giveaway, crazy truck with merch, or whether you're selling some autograph apparel, whatever it is, Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better compared to other leading commerce platforms. So sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US of A. Plus, Shopify's extensive help resources are there to support success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase, SCHAB, all lowercase. So go to shopify.com/Schaub right now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Schaub. Cha-ching. This episode also brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, and they are in the business of keeping your car on the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and parts knowledge you'll need for your maintenance and repairs. O'Reilly Auto Parts got whatever you need to keep your car on the road. They got experts there. And listen, you can go there, whatever you're looking for, battery, some random part for a 20-year-old Ford F-150, Lightning, they got you covered, man. They have it, or they can order it, shows up the next day. That's how easy it is, and it's super quick. So whether you're a car aficionado or you're a rookie, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are super helpful. Best of all, friendly. Professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts are your one-stop shop for all things auto do-it-yourself, and you can find what you need in-store or online. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Visit them at O'ReillyAuto.com/Schaub, SCHAUB. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Schaub. The thing is, what are they going to do if, let's say DraftKings is right and John's the pretty big favorite of Stipe, which I think that fight's actually going to be better than you guys think. I think it's not going to be like the Sandhagen fight. It's going to be a better fight. But regardless, let's say John gets it done. Will they force his hand, or does John go, I'll fight Alex Pereira? And UFC's going to go, okay, you're Jon Jones, man. You're the GOAT. You make the calls. And so then does Tom Aspinall just keep defending a fake
interim title?
belt?
Yeah, which is weird. It's always been weird.
And here's the answer. Yeah. Yeah. Probably what's going to happen.
But by the way, those two fights, I'd still be stoked with. Like,
yeah, I'll take
John
them.
versus Alex.
Sure.
John versus Tom.
Sure.
I'm happy with both.
Yeah. Well, the fans win. The fans win. The people that know the game don't win. Tom Aspinall being an interim champ is such bullshit.
Defending an interim title already.
It's no different than the media telling you Kamala Harris is polling great. Okay. Some dummies will believe that. This is no different. Jon Jones is the best. Okay. People that know. Okay. I guess I'll watch him fight Stipe. I guess those are the two best heavyweights in the world. One guy hasn't fought in 4 years. Last time we saw him, he got knocked out. The other guy's been injured, having issues with the law. Fought the perfect matchup. Beat the guy. Got injured. Had issues with the law. And you're still forcing that down our throats. Okay. Again, I don't get the rhyme or reason. I don't know what the deal. I know John deserves some power and the way his career goes. I don't understand. Even from a business standpoint, I don't know. Maybe the UFC is looking at the analytics and Aspinall just doesn't trend high, on pay-per-views.
More than Stipe, though, right?
I don't know. Stipe's had some big fights, man. You remember, you're a casual person who's not buying every pay-per-view or watching every fight night in the prelims. They know Stipe. They know the kid from Cleveland, the firefighter.
And he was considered the greatest heavyweight.
To some, there's argument for that. But yeah, he's regarded as one of the best heavyweights of all time. American kid from Cleveland,
But I mean, I'm sure everyone in this room,
He beat Francis.
we would want to watch.
We're not who they care about.
Are you talking about just casuals, right?
Yeah. That's what gets the money. Same people that want to watch Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Oh, yeah. That's where the money's at. So maybe that's why they're doing it. Doesn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah. I mean, but John is a legend. Stipe is a legend. So you're just letting them do their thing, right? They deserve it.
I don't see. I deserve what? Who's more deserving than Tom Aspinall? He's starching actual legit contenders, and he's in his prime. So what do you just want him to sit on the sidelines and just fill in till John decides to ride off on the sunset?
You heard what Tom said about like doing a tournament?
Yeah.
So him fighting Alex and then John fighting Stipe and then the winners fight each other.
Sure, that'd be great.
So
The problem is Tom has no power saying that. He's almost too nice. You got to force their hand. It's just not in his nature. It's not in his team's nature. Like, we just want to fight, man. I get it, but you want to be compensated. You got to be treated fairly. What they're doing to you is not fair. Life isn't fair. Fighting sure as fuck ain't fair. I get all that. You got to stick up for yourself here, man. Otherwise, they're going to fucking put you through the ringer. And by the time you're ready to be crowned the actual world champion, it's 5 years too late. You're out of your prime. You're going to keep fighting these contenders, and it's heavyweight. Shit happens. And he has some defensive liabilities. Shit happens, man. You're going to get clipped, and then all this is out the window. The margin of error at heavyweight is so fucking small. I don't care who you are. Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall, Stipe, DC. I don't care who you are. It's so different than other weight classes. So something can happen, man. You don't see a left hook. The one time you don't see it, boom. All that money, all that legacy out the window. That's what you're dealing with. So the sense of urgency his team should have should be second to none compared to whoever else is on that fucking roster. They should be shouting from the rooftops. John ain't shit. We'll fight Stipe, John the same night. We're nobody's backup. We're the one true champion. It's like Game of Thrones. You're the one true king. Anyone to dispute that, we cut your fucking head off. Not really, but I'm saying you fight them.
Yeah. I'm listening. So if Tom Aspinall, because it's not in his character, but if he said something like, "You're a fucking pussy, John. You fucking fight me for the the real heavyweight championship."
That's not in his nature. Don't call him a fucking pussy, right?
So how
that's
would you
gonna
do it
turn
if
me
you're
off.
Tom?
I'm like, that's not the Tom I like. If you just went, clearly anybody can figure this out. John's not the best. I'm the best by far, bar none. He had his run. It's my time. He's fighting another fucking dinosaur nobody cares about. I'm the best. I'm not your backup. I'm the number one heavyweight in the world. I've proved it.
Twice.
I'm not fighting anybody else but fucking Jon Jones. If he doesn't want the fight, strip him of the belt. That's how this should go. John versus Stipe isn't a real championship fight. Anybody that thinks it is a fucking moron. I'm the best. Prove otherwise. Fight me. If you don't fight me, get the fuck off the belt. I'm the best. We need that. The nice guy role, again, and that's why I love Tom. He's such a good person, good dad, all that stuff. That's why we like him. There has to be a bit of that WWE in this world we live in today where otherwise you're going to get taken advantage of. Nice guys get taken advantage of. Trust me. You got to be a bit of a savage, just like he isn't, right? Tom puts his hands on Sergey or whoever he can. Brother, let's do this. And then fucking starches him. Thanks, bud. That same, we can still be this guy, right? We need to be this guy at face-off.
Still be a killer.
But then be a fucking killer outside of the octagon. Otherwise, you're going to get walked over. You're the dude with the hot chick and she's just walking all over you. Tits are great. Money's all right. You think you're getting paid. You ain't getting paid, bud. But they gave me this bonus. You ever seen what Jon Jones gets paid? Khabib, Conor, Izzy, Strickland. You ever seen what the real champs get paid? You're getting taken advantage of, bud, because you're too nice. You give the UFC an inch, they're going to take a fucking mile. That's business. It's not that UFC's bad, but you're allowing it. Put your foot in the sand. When he goes, I talked to Dana, I'm going to be a backup fighter. He should have been like, backup? The fuck you talking about? I ain't nobody's backup. Some fighters do this too. You've seen it before. Dustin Poirier, I ain't nobody's backup. Conor, backup? The fuck you talking about? And the UFC knows, okay, don't offer him backup. They don't like that. With Tom, he likes it. Yeah, give him some fish and chips and I'll fucking do it. Yeah. Fly him first class. Add his wife in. We don't give a fuck. Fish and chips. Add the kids. He'll be backup. Nah, man. Draw that line in the sand right now, dude. Otherwise, he's going to take advantage of you. And time is money. As UFC heavyweight, time is money, dude, and it's passing you by. It's passing, and you're letting another man dictate your career. He should be all in on fuck Jon Jones. Every interview, he ain't the best. Not even close. I beat that guy under a fucking minute. What's he gonna do? Knock me out? Not a chance. You wanna go to the ground? I'm a black belt. I grew up in a fucking jiu-jitsu gym. My dad owned it. The nice guy role, again, that's why we love him, so it's tough. But what he's doing, you're not gonna get to where you need to get, and you have a family. So if you want to get some anger, dude, think about your kids and set them up for life. Bank on yourself. Fuck everybody else. Don't be a company man. Don't be a company man. Resist to that bullshit, that corporate bullshit. Why does everybody love Nate and Nick Diaz? Are they the best fighters we've ever seen? No, God, no, not even close. Because they said, fuck the man. They went against the grain. Everyone loves that. People working shitty 9-to-5 jobs. They hate their boss. They would love to do it. Tom Aspinall can do it. You're a fucking savage, dude. You could go down as the best heavyweight ever. He's so fucking talented. But even he I don't know if he sees him that self that way. Like he gets on the mic, right? He's like, I'm living proof. Anybody can do it. I'm just an average guy. Excuse me, sir. You're 6'5", 260 pounds, and you're the fastest heavyweight we've ever seen. And you're a black belt on the ground. You're far from averaged. But again, that's why we love him, right? Everyone can relate to that. But the reality is, he's a 1%er. And 1%ers are they're zebras. Nobody controls them. You can't be controlled. John can't be controlled. You can't control Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Conor can't be controlled. You can't. Khabib can't be controlled. Strickland can't be controlled. These guys are motherfuckers, man. Alex can't be controlled. So they're 1%ers and they act like it. And they have some people on the roster who can get in line. Even though they're badasses and they're outcasts according to regular civilians in society, they're outcasts. But when it comes to cage fighters, they get in line. They're 9-to-5ers. A lot of guys are 9-to-5ers. The guys that make a difference and really make fuck you money are outcasts amongst outcasts. They're 1%ers. Tom right now he's a 9-to-5er. Whatever you need, man. Yeah, I'll do it. Hey, why don't you go do an appearance at this UFC gym in Manchester? Ah, you got it, pal. Nah, man. Nah, fuck that, dude. It's never worked out for anybody in the UFC being a yes man. Never in the history has it worked out when you say yes to everything. Also, the UFC doesn't respect that. They just don't. They're going to take advantage of you, and eventually it catches up to you, especially at heavyweight. The margin of error is so fucking small. They're going to keep throwing you these contenders. Here's the other thing. There's not a lot of contenders in the heavyweight division. There's not a lot of ways he can go. He has every chip in his corner to force their hand to give him an Alex Pereira or Jon Jones. Or if Jon gets hurt, give him Stipe. You know what the fuck Tom Aspinall would do to Stipe? And I love Stipe. I'm talking as of today, July 29th, 2024. You know what Aspinall would do to Stipe? You fucking kidding me? It's scary, dude. It's not healthy. Force their hand, dude. Look at that. Go to the heavyweight fucking rankings. What else are you going to do with them? They're taking advantage of you, Tom. This isn't an anti-Dana rant. This isn't an anti-UFC rant. This is a pro-Tom Aspinall rant. The UFC is going to UFC and they're crushing it. Nobody's better. I bleed UFC. You cut my veins, fucking as real as it gets. You cut my veins, fucking Bill O'Reilly song comes out. I love the UFC. I have no issue with them. But I'm pro-fighter. I'm pro-Tom. And I'm telling you, we've seen this happen before, dude. Now, there's some guys who will fight against it and it doesn't work out for him. Woodley. Right? But Tom ain't no Woodley. You're a heavyweight. Who the fuck is Tom going to fight? Who's he going to fight? Go ahead. Tell me who the fuck he's going to fight next. Out of the top 10, who's he going to fight that's going to progress his career? Now you're going to look at the list, go, hasn't fought Cyril Gahn. You know what the fuck Tom Aspinall will do to Cyril Gahn? It's not, there's nothing they can offer him. But you're going to eat this shit, dude. That's what you're going to do. If you don't do something, this is what's going to happen, Tommy. And it's not right. And I want to see you make life-changing money for you and your kids. This is what's going to happen. The UFC is going to do Jon versus Stipe. Jon's going to win that fight. He's going to milk it for all it's worth and fucking tease you. He's going to fucking tease you, and you're going to wait and you're going to sit out, and you like to be active, but you're waiting for that big fight. It's not going to happen. He's not going to fight you. Cyril Gane's going to be ready to go. You're going to fight Cyril Gane, and we don't give a fuck. Chances are you should beat the shit out of him. Cyril Gane's a powerful, athletic dude, and shit can happen. What if you get clipped in that fight? Back to the drawing board. Now you're back to fighting the Sergey Pavlovich of the world, the Curtis Blades of the world, the Volkovs who you've already beat. We have nothing for you. So if you don't do it right now, the future for you is not great, dude. Meaning, odds are he's going to keep winning. There's nothing for him. We have nothing to offer him. So then what happens? Well, we have nothing to offer you. People stop paying attention. The matchups aren't sexy anymore. Fighting random fucking Russian dudes they're finding to throw at you. And you're beating them, sure. And you're making 500. Dude, I made $1 million. Oh, that's great, dude. You ain't making world fucking changing money, though. You ain't making the same as what you deserve with your skill set. So your star power starts to go down. But you're still winning, but you're making 400, 500K. You're pocketing that, right? Until eventually it catches up with you. You get older and you get clipped. And that's how your story ends. No one will mention you as the best to ever do it because you didn't grab it by the fucking horns and attack, man. Because when you're a 9-to-5er and when they tell you to jump and you have a smile on your face, they take advantage of it. And you're an outlier, dude. You're a goddamn 1%er. You got to start acting like it. Otherwise, it's going to fuck you, man. And that would be a goddamn shame. Everyone wants to shit on Conor and the shit he does. Look how much fucking money and fame he has. Now, I'm not saying do all that crazy shit and all. You don't have to do that. What I'm saying is you got to fight the man. And that man, his name is Dana White, and it's fucking tough to get a fucking inch on the dude. But you're going to get his respect, and you're going to get what you deserve in this world, and that's what you should do, dude. Otherwise, the game's going to pass you by, and you're one of the most talented people I've ever fucking seen, dude. He's so goddamn talented. He could be the face of the UFC if you play it right. Otherwise, you're just going to be another goddamn sheep in this fucking machine. And he is a fucking British lion, dude. But for what reason, he looks in the mirror and he's not seeing it. I'm telling you, Tommy, look in that fucking mirror and tell people to fuck off, dude. Not literally. Don't say fuck off to Dana. That doesn't go well. Don't do that. Trust me. I'm banned from everything. Don't do that. What I'm saying is stick up for yourself, dude. Because right now you're getting bullied. You know how fucking slapping it. He's going to be the alternate in the heavyweight division. Whenever have we seen a fucking alternate be more talented than the two guys fucking fighting? Whenever we've seen an alternate who's active, starching contenders, shortest cage time ever. When have we ever seen that? Sitting on the sidelines, waiting for a guy who has legal troubles, who hasn't fought in for fucking ever, blew out his goddamn pec, versus another guy who hasn't fought in 4 years. When he did fight, he got knocked out. You got this young kid in his prime here just wasting fucking time. And for what? For what? Because your analytics tell you Stipe versus Jon is bigger? Fuck off, dude. Make them work for you, Tommy. Yeah, you're not the best talker. We don't need that. That's why people love you. Yeah, you're a good dad. You get off social media. All good, dude. That's why we fuck with you. But at some point, you draw that line in the sand, dude. Because you're looking in the mirror right now, and you're seeing a badass, but there's so much more potential there. And if you want life-changing money, this is what it's going to take. I'm not saying go against the UFC. I'm not saying talk shit to them. That's not the way to go. I'm saying stick up for yourself. When they ask you to jump, you ask why. When they ask you to fill in as the alternative, you go no. You got to have this marketing around you're the very best. Jon and Stipe ain't shit. I beat both of them the same night. I'll fight both of them right now. But the respectful, Jon's good, man. I just think I'm a little better. I'd love to fight you. That ain't going to do it. You go, you ain't shit. I don't like the way you represent the company. Yeah, you did great at light heavyweight. Heavyweight's my division. I will fuck your world up anywhere it goes. Striking, you ain't shit. You want to go to the ground? Fucking bring it. Grew up in a jiu-jitsu gym. What else you got? This Stipe fight is a fucking shit show. Nobody wants to watch it. That's what we need. That's what the people are saying, dude. The majority of people are saying that, Tommy. But he's playing the narrative. I'll just wait my turn. Your turn is now. Your turn was a year ago. You've done enough to prove. We all know it. Anybody that knows fighting knows you're the best in the world. We all know this, except for you and your fucking team. Oh, we'll be alternates. Fuck you, dude. Nah, man, we ain't going to be there. We ain't going to be there. John ain't the real heavyweight. Why would I do that? When has an actual champion sat in to watch two old guys fight? Why are we doing this? It makes no sense. I won't be there. I don't support it. That's what you do. I don't support this. I don't know what the UFC became. And I don't know if there are analytics saying that's bigger than me, but if it's talking about you want the best fighter in the world, the best versus the best, that ain't it. Curtis Blades was a tougher matchup for him than either of those guys. Let that sink in. He beat him in a fucking minute. Gotta be lying, dude. Otherwise, they're gonna fucking walk all over you. You still make money, you know? They'll bring you to the events, give you a hotel, fly you and your kids around, your wife, all good, man. It's not enough, dude. Don't get comfortable. The fight game is such a motherfucker and so cold, and he's gonna learn that when it's too late. He's had so much success. He thinks that's success, but there's a whole other world, dude, where the Jon Jones, the Connors, the Khabibs, the GSPs, the Anderson Silvas, the Islam Makhachevs, they all live up here, dude. And you're down here looking at the penthouse, not realizing you're better than them. That's it. Hopefully that gets Tommy. He didn't pay attention to social media, though, so hopefully somebody from his team sees it and gets in his fucking air. The nice guy in the UFC, nice guys finish last. And by the time you realize that's how cold this game is, you got clipped, and now you're renegotiating a contract, you're making 200, and you're, it's tough go. Then you open up a fucking UFC gym. That's what they're going to do for you. But here's a UFC gym in Manchester. Cool, man. And you got to be there doing appearances all the time, holding mitts for fucking 8-year-olds. I'll bring my kid there. I'll do that. I'd see that. I'm into it. But you're not making life-changing money is my point. And you deserve it. Too talented not to. Let's get to the main event. Belal Muhammad, Leon Edwards. Goddamn, did Belal show up, right? Best performance we've ever seen. I think it's funny. People go, man, Belal, best performance he's ever put on. Yeah. It's a world title fight. That's what guys do. They give their best performances when a world title's on the line. That's what Belal did. Think how frustrating it is for Belal for 3 years calling out Leon Edwards. For 3 fucking years, knowing he could beat him. Think how frustrating that is. Oh, his fighting style is boring. Doesn't matter. He's gotten so much better since the last time him and Leon fought. He beat the fuck out of him, dude. Bully beatdown style. That first round, how easy it was to take him down, and the key to it, the reason, if you go to Leon's record chain, people will say, Leon wasn't ready. It's the timing of the card. Colby Covington, his wrestling's better than Belal's wrestling as far as credentials, for sure. Kamaru Usman, how come he couldn't get the same takedowns Belal did? So you can come up with all these narratives. The difference is Belal's pacing, and also him cutting off the cage. He wasn't doing it with footwork. He wasn't setting up the takedowns with footwork. He was setting the reason his success rate of the takedowns against Leon Edwards, who's known for his takedown defense, was he got respect through his striking, which Colby never got. Usman never got. Never. Leon's so advanced in striking, they never earned his respect there. So he could focus on takedowns and force the fight to the middle of the cage, the middle of the octagon. Belal did something different we weren't aware of, where he would cut down. So Leon doesn't want his back against the cage, right? He's constantly circling. Everyone's trying to take him down, right? Everyone, he knows this. So his game plan is to circle. Those Colby and Kamaru would either be striking or wrestling. They weren't putting it together, or they'd try and cut off the cage and do their thing, and he'd be able to get his underhooks. Belal's game plan was perfect, because as Leon would circle out, he wouldn't cut him off with his feet. He wouldn't step out left to make him force him to the right. What he'd do is set up with striking. He saw him kept throwing a left hook, which would force Leon to get out of that, come back the other way, and he'd use his high guard. Leon kept going high guard, and he'd throw left hooks, not to land him, just that was the way he was forcing him to cut off the cage. You would hear the commentators go, Belal needs to cut off the cage or do this better. He wasn't doing it typically like boxers or high-level strikers do. He was literally throwing the left hook, but he would earn the respect early by tagging him. He got his attention, like, oh, fuck, this kid can actually, he's bringing it, right? He wasn't scared to get knocked out. He's going forward, and then that left hook, he got the respect early on. He would throw that, and when he would high guard, he'd hit him with the uppercut, and that high guard was constantly there, and then he'd keep throwing, the high guard would be there, and then he would blast through him. That's why the takedowns are so easy. That's why he had so much success. He got the respect in striking, which we thought Leon would have a huge advantage in. Not the case. Now, Leon, if they do fucking tit for tat, straight striking, Leon lights him up. That's not what this was. It was his pace, his nonstop, relentless pace, and he would tag him to get his respect, get the high guard up, cut him off with left hooks, force his back to the cage. But you're just not shooting because Leon's so fucking good at getting his underhooks. But he can't get his underhooks when he's getting fucking lit up top and he has the high guard. So he'd be high guard, but it wasn't as soon as he did the high guard, because Leon's used to that, he can get his underhooks. Leon would go here, tag, body shot, boom, shot. By the time the shot was in, his hands were clasped. He's already around the waist, he's already around the legs. And that's why you get those huge takedowns. That's the difference. So you hear people say, I don't get it. Colby's a better wrestler. Kamaru's a better wrestler. Kamaru has knockout power. It's not that. Colby and Kamaru never earned the respect on the feet. They never did. And their pace wasn't as relentless. Belal, the pacing just kept coming. Leon's number one goal, his number one game plan was don't have your back against the cage. Belal, if you watch that fight, it's very limited fighting in the middle of the octagon. Leon constantly had his back to the cage, constantly. And it wasn't through your traditional cut him off with the lead foot, get him to circle back. It's through the striking. Those left hooks, the uppercuts, he got his respect, would wobble him, he'd go high guard. And the few times they were in the middle of the octagon, Leon had some success, kind of lit him up. So it was a battle of that. If the fight took place in the middle of octagon, Leon wins that fight 99 times out of 100. But if it's against the cage, Belal wins that fight 9 times out of 100. That was the fight. Belal dominated that. And again, he got the respect because he wasn't scared. You got to take risks. You got to be willing to get knocked out in order to do that to Leon. And Belal believed in his chin. He got tagged. Sure, he got tagged. But he had to walk through that fire in order to have that success. And we haven't seen it before. And I like it. I love Leon. I think he's such a talent. He did a great job defending the belt. Monster. He deserved it. I like that Belal won because it opens up the division. Shavkat's coming now. Shavkat's coming. After seeing that, Belal Shavkat's a fucking fight. That's a fucking motherfucking fight. Ain't nobody talking about rematch. Nobody. You do Leon versus Ian Gary. Ian Gary. Tough fight for Leon. Ian Gary. Shavkat Belal. These young lions are fucking coming, dude. And by Leon losing, it opens the floodgates. And this is fun. You get all these different matchups. I think the belt's probably going to go around a few times. It's going to go around a few times. But Belal was ready, man. Went to enemy territory and just put it on him, man. Put it the fuck on him. You give Leon 1 round for sure. I'd see give him 2. Give him the probably the second, maybe the 5th with the cut at the end there. I still went towards Belal on that. And then in my group chat with some guys who know the game, that guys just don't know how to finish from the back. Hashtag no Diddy. Guys don't know how to finish from the back, but it's not that, because with Belal, with Colby, these guys that get the back like that, even you look at fucking RoboCop, world champion jiu-jitsu guy. He has a million different ways to finish a guy from the back in jiu-jitsu. In MMA, it's very difficult with the gloves, even for a guy at his level. You're talking about RoboCop, who's a multi-time world champion. Gilbert Burns, multi-time world champion. Notice they don't get a ton of finishes from the back. With the gloves, it makes it very difficult. So the guys like Islam Makhachev or Khabib, where they're inflicting damage from the back and get the finishes, that's so much more important. So if you're going to focus on something, if you're Belal, if I'm Belal this morning, right? We're like, what could we do better to get a finish? It'd be ground and pound. The guys in 2024 in the UFC, they're too good at defending jiu-jitsu. So if I'm going to put my attention to anything, it's not going to be jiu-jitsu submissions. That's the least of my worries. It'd be finishing guys. If I get the back, I'm not triangling and securing it and trying to get this rear naked. It's fucking 2024. Everyone knows how to defend it 2-on-1. It's fucking difficult. It's difficult. Notice RoboCop couldn't submit typically a all striker in CLD. That guy's not a black belt. He had his back how many times? He defended pretty well, right? That's how it is. So if you're going to put focus on something, if I'm Belal, hey man, we get Shavkat's back, we get Ian Gary's back, whoever we fight next or in the future, we got to inflict damage, not go for the submission. We can't just have their back and control them. That's not what we want. That's not what the UFC wants. We got to get finishes. How are we going to get finishes? We're not submitting guys. It's not our thing. It's not your thing. Unless you're a high pedigree, it's going to be fucking tough in 2024 to submit guys. How can we submit them? All right. Well, our opportunity comes from wrestling. When we get their back, we inflict damage. We're not worried about control so much. Yeah, control first, and then we go to work. We're not going to sit there and try and get a rear naked choke. That's boring, dude. Nobody wants to see that. The judges don't like it. The fans don't like it. Dana doesn't like it. We get the back. We're going to try and get out of there and inflict damage. So his main focus should be ground and pound from the back. That should be the one takeaway. He had multiple opportunities to finish Leon. And because, he's not a black belt, Leon was able to reverse a lot of those positions. Because, again, he's playing this jiu-jitsu game. Nah, dude. Didn't you train in Dagestan? They don't even say jiu-jitsu up there. Fucking inflict damage, dude. Wrist control, one arm around the waist if you want, and fucking finish this dude. That should be his focus on these next few fights. You're not submitting these guys coming up. You're just not. It's not your thing. A lot of these guys, not your thing. Even RoboCop, world-class jiu-jitsu, you got the guys back. All right, let's throw some Hail Marys. Let's go for some arm bars, because unless you get in right away, you're not submitting the guy. It's not happening. At this level, it's not happening. RoboCop, again, multi-time world champion jiu-jitsu, world-class jiu-jitsu. How much jiu-jitsu do you see out of that guy? It's just not, it's a different game. It's a different game. He's all stand-up. Now he'll get guys back, but he's not, again, he can finish a only legit striker. Not even close. Controlled him. Nobody wants to see that, dude. You get there, inflict damage, and sometimes that'll open up the submission, but we can't hope for a rear naked choke. We've had their back for 2 minutes. It's not happening. You're not going to surprise him. All guys kept doing that. It was driving me nuts. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? What are we doing? You think you're just going to slip in the rear naked? It's been 1:30 of fucking control, dude. The only way you can get him to open up is you got to start applying fucking damage. And then when they're like, oh my God, boom, then it's in. But if you keep hand fighting, you're doing this shit dude, what are you doing? The fuck are we doing? Nobody wants to see that. That's why Dana was all disappointed. Dana's singing a different tune if Belal finished him rear naked. Different tune.
But how open are you, like, when you're grappling, right? if you're striking the guy that you're in the back control of, you're striking. How open is it for him to turn around and get out of it?
If you have good control, not much. Especially the way Belal had the
triangle,
the body lock. Yeah. They're going fucking nowhere, dude. But again, if you're just gonna sit there and try and get the submission, fuck, dude. This guy's a UFC vet. It's not his first day in the park, man. This is terrible. It's not happening. Apply damage, the body lock. All right, if you want secure position, but then start to open up, take some chances. It ain't happening. Let's take a little break, and this is a fun one. This is one you all can use because you're celebrating UFC 304. Maybe you're in Manchester celebrating with your mates. Maybe you're at the freaking summer barbecue. Maybe you're having some cold ones at your son's little league game with the dads. You're like, man, I can't have too many because I don't want to be hungover. I don't want to feel bad. Well, we got you, man. What if I told you there's a product, all right? I'm talking about Safety Shot, the world's first alcohol detoxifier that reduces blood alcohol content as little as 30 minutes. Go ahead and have that cold brewski. Go ahead and have 2 of them. You're going to feel all right, man, because Safety Shot helps you get a sharper mind and body, liver support, well-being boost, gut support, hydration, very important when you're drinking, you're out in the sun all day. Safety Shot is your wingman to make you feel better. So go ahead and have that drink on me. Go to drinksafetyshot.com. Use promo code Brendan to get 10% off. Get that 4-pack for you and the boys. All right. That's drinksafetyshot.com. Promo code Brendan. All right, guys. Had a lot to say. Boy, was on one there. I apologize to anybody I offended. You got a UFC fight night this Saturday. It's a tasty one.
12 p.m.
Tasty one, 12 p.m. Those are super tasty. 12 p.m. My boy Cory Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov. Great fight. You got the Dagestanian Pirate fighting. You got my boy Cheeto Vera versus Figueiredo. You know who I'm going for. You got Tony Ferg versus Michael Chiesa. That's fun. Our girl Mackenzie Dern versus Lupi. It's a solid fight night, dude. Great fight night. Take my money. My ESPN Plus subscription money. You know what I'm saying. Cory Sandhagen, dude, the huevos on this kid. I've known him since he was 15. When he's on food truck, he was saying how he wants to fight all contenders before he becomes champion, because once he becomes champion, he wants to know that he didn't just get there, with perfect matchups. He wants to fight all comers. He's a plus 250 in this fight. He's ranked way higher. Good God, do I hope he pulls it off. I hope Cory pulls it off. Tough fucking fight. Umar's a motherfucker. But just, that's Cory, man. He's old school. He's one of those guys that will take on all comers, doesn't care where they're ranked. It's just an old school thing. Old school
It's
thing.
like samurai mentality type of thing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's tough, but it's cool. I hope he pulls it off, man. Then our boy, the freaking Dagestanian Pirate, doing the damn thing. I'm so excited for Cheeto. God, I hope that's, tough fight. Hope Cheeto wins that, man. Tony Ferg, you just pray to God he doesn't get kicked in the face. Hopefully he has a good showing. Michael Chiesa's the man, too. And Mackenzie Dern, never bad when she fights. Great card, though. Prelims aren't bad either, dude. Is that it, bud?
That's it. Well, let me double check, make sure. Yeah, we don't care about that stuff. Oh, actually, real quick, we had our dude Jared Brooks come on the show.
Our boy Jared Brooks.
Yeah, we did a little thing with them, right? He's fighting this weekend on One Fight Night 24.
And we won championship, flew Jared Brooks in to L.A., and we did, because Jared Brooks fancies himself a rapper on the side. So we decided to have a white rapper contest with him and Little Brows. It's pretty entertaining. And our girl Danielle Kelly's fighting women's atomweight world championships on the line. Never met her ever. She's the woman. I was gonna say the man, but the woman. It's just a phrase, But Jared Brooks is a fun dude, man. Really fun. Check it out. It'll be on when's it drop, Case? Tomorrow. You got Jared Brooks versus Little Brows. And Chin jumped in there. White battle rap. Nothing better than that. But yeah, he's fighting. When is Friday?
Friday, yes.
Friday.
Well, you know how the one championship times are kind of crazy, but so yeah, August 2nd, Friday.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern here, so 5 Pacific here on Friday. Jared Brooks, he's a good one. He's one of the good guys. Drive fast, all gas. 4 weeks left to win this freaking truck. I'm sick of talking about this freaking truck. 4 weeks left to win this truck. You have a freaking Raptor R killer, over 700 horsepower. We beat the Raptor R in every single way. We have special merch dropping this Friday, limited edition. It's the collab with King Shocks and Drive Fast All Gas, camo hats, shirts. That drops this freaking Friday. DriveFastAllGas.com. And I think when we drop the merch, it's only 3 days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday at midnight, it all goes away. You can never buy this hat or shirt again. And you get 30 times entries as well. And we're only doing that this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you haven't jumped in and got a shot to win this ridiculous truck, also, we need to hurry up and give this thing away before I flip it. So go to DriveFastAllGas.com. Limited edition camo tees, camo hats. The hat I'm rocking right now, I don't have the shirt yet. It's coming. But yeah, it's collab with King Shocks and Drive Fast All Gas. Limited edition. Only available for 3 days, and you get 30-time entry fees. All right. So you go to DriveFastAllGas.com. The new merch will drop this Friday. All right, kids. That's it. Love you.